This is BBC News. We're broadcasting to the United Kingdom and around the world. Our headlines. The United States retaliates for the bombing of its embassies. Cruise missiles are launched against suspected militant bases in Sudan and Afghanistan.
Our target was terror. Our mission was clear: to strike at the network of radical groups affiliated with and funded by Osama bin Laden, perhaps the preeminent organizer and financier of international terrorism in the world today.
Followed by flames, and it looks like the building is still on fire on the inside.
Which building are we talking about? The one that's westernmost?
Let's see. Yes, sir.
Did you hear the explosion from
yes.
your position?
Yes, we did. As a matter of fact, we heard it, and because I was just like standing there pretty much looking out the window, I didn't see what caused it or if there was an impact.
So you have no idea right now?
There's another one. Another plane just hit. Right. Oh, my God. Another plane has just hit. It hit another building. Flew right into the middle of it. Explosion. My God, it's right in the middle of the building.
Yeah. People would die.
You're talking in a very kind of sterile way, so let's just break this down. Are you saying that it is justified in this war for the Taliban, as they do, to blow up schools full of kids? Yes or no?
I'm not justifying anything.
Sounds like you are to me.
I'm not justifying anything. I'm just trying to explain.
You've said in the past that the US and Pakistan are, quote, at war against each other.
Yeah.
Is that still your view?
Yeah. This was a big illusion on part of, let's say, Pakistan. They deluded themselves in believing that they were allies. Actually, they were not. The allies have the same objective, which we did not have. The allies also agree on a certain approach on which we did not.
It's different to say we are at war. You use the phrase that America and Pakistan are at war.
Right.
The reason I bring this up is it's a funny sort of war in which one side gives the other side billions of dollars in aid, and the other side takes the money, pockets it, and then goes and helps the enemies of the people who gave them that cash. That's a weird sort of war.
I think we got much less money than we should have.
Okay.
Keeping people on the
They certainly
leash.
didn't give you money to go and help their enemies and give safe houses to Taliban leaders and coordinate their activities in Afghanistan with roadside bombs, etc.
But I can tell you one thing. You see, I again go back. The Pakistani army, ISI, trained Al-Qaeda and all these groups to fight in Afghanistan. There were always links between there had to be links because they trained them. Now, as I said, after 9/11, when we did a 180-degree turn and went after those groups, you know, not everyone agreed with us. But in the army, people didn't agree with us. And so, as I said, there were more insider attacks in Pakistan.
There was a remarkable charge made today by America's top military officer. Admiral Mike Mullen told a Senate committee that the Pakistani government's intelligence agency was behind last week's attack on the American embassy in Afghanistan. Mullen said the U.S. has credible evidence that the Pakistani agency is connected to that and to a number of other attacks against American troops. David Martin has our story.
The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff said it as bluntly as it's ever been said. Terrorist groups which are killing Americans operate with impunity from Pakistani soil and with help from Pakistani intelligence.
The Haqqani Network, for one, acts as a veritable arm of Pakistan's internal services intelligence agency.
democratic evolution, did not know what the connections were between elements within the military and the ISI and various extremist and even terrorist groups. I think that the elements within the ISI and the military, both past and present at the time I was dealing with it, were under the mistaken view that having these kinds of proxies vis-a-vis India, vis-a-vis Afghanistan, were in Pakistan's interests. Not just the military's interests, but in their sovereign interests. As I say in the book, it's like keeping poisonous snakes in your backyard, expecting they will only bite your neighbor. And what we're seeing now is the continuing threat to the state of Pakistan by these very same elements. And my argument to my Pakistani counterparts from the very beginning of my term was that they had to take seriously this threat, and they had to do everything they could to end the relationships that existed between the military and the intelligence services with these groups, and they had to try to end their dangerous behavior both inside of Pakistan, across the border in Afghanistan, and obviously, from my perspective, vis-a-vis India.